Hello, this is Royal Height, the music ambassador of the Royal Height of Music podcast. Our goal is taking our music to the world. Get the word out now. Let everybody know who you are, where you are, and what you do. Sponsors, advertisers, and affiliates, you're welcome to join us. Join us here at the Royal Height of Music podcast. Contact us at veneralrecords@gmail.com or call us at 1-888-666-3645. That's 1-888-666-3645. Good day, good day, good day. This is Royal Height, the music ambassador, and welcoming you again today to the Royal Height of Music podcast. And today we're especially blessed because I get a rare occasion to not only have a great person to interview, but also one that I consider a friend. And believe me, that is a cherished thing with me. This afternoon, a gentleman who I've had the pleasure of not only being around personally, but he impressed me so much, I invited him to actually visit with me at my church. We've actually appeared at several occasions together. He is a prolific writer. When I say prolific, we're talking about already 20 books, and I believe maybe heading for more already published and available for purchase. A gentleman's got a whole lot to say. His main mode of writing is through poetry, but he's outspoken. He also speaks. He's a very encouraging, motivational speaker. And like I said, at the top of the list, I consider him a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, can I introduce to you my friend, TRHOM DC Nstive son, the poet, Watkins. How you doing, Ralph?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I hope I can live up to the height of Mr. Height.
There you go.
That's a lot of hype, but I appreciate it. And we connected years ago. We realized that we went to the same alumni, McKinley Tech, and from that day forward, we never looked backwards. I've always looked forward to seeing you. I've always looked for you at different locations, and I've always gravitated to whatever was happening in and around you with that at that time, and I appreciate you.
All right, well, Ralph, like I said, I was most impressed not only by what you're doing currently, but also your history. So, in order to bring the audience up to date, my first question to you this afternoon is just simply, if you would you be kind enough just to tell briefly a little of your personal history, who you are, where you came from, up to this point right now? Just real quickly, take 2 or 3 minutes and just tell me what's going on.
Okay. I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. One of 14 children, 12 boys and 2 girls. I'm a product of the public school system. It has its plus and its minuses, its advantages and disadvantages of attending a public school. I went to Noyes, Langley, and McKinley. Then from there, I graduated from high school and I went into the military, United States Marines. All my life, I felt I wanted to be a writer, a poet, a storyteller, following after the footsteps of my dad, who always recited short stories, wrote songs. And that was something that I've always inclined my life towards, is journaling as much as I can about the things that's going on around me and what I hope to happen in with my life. And so that part, I just was able to find a narrative and put it into spoken word, into short stories and prose, in short.
Okay, well, again, that's just that much. Now, how many publications, how many completed books do you have already, can I ask?
Up to this date, 22 books. I've self-published 22 books that are all available on Amazon or directly to me through my webpage, which is dcnativeson.com. And 22 self-published books available.
And how would you describe overall, if you looked at your entire body of work, how would you describe it in terms of the subject matter that you usually pick out to write about? How would you, if you had to condense it, just to give an overview, a quick summary of your writing, what your subject matter is, how would you describe it?
Okay. I think I have broken it down to two words: journey, journey, the road that I've taken, or the road that's laid out before me,
Mhm.
and leaving this behind as my legacy. So journey. Most of my work is about going through life, dealing with struggles and happenstances. So I journal my life and I describe the journey that what I've gone through to get to where I'm at that particular day or those months or years past and what I look forward to.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And as a, I know you do other things in addition to doing your work, your writing. Can I ask what other things are you involved with in the community? What kind of work you do, or what do you do to keep you busy when you not don't have a pen in hand?
Um, um, Before this podcast started, getting me to sit down is like stopping a moving train. I'm always busy. One of my things that I enjoy most is running and putting time out there running and out on the street or out on the track, and using that as a tool to motivate other people to stay in health, to get healthy. I always say your health is your wealth. And I'm hoping, even if you don't have an opportunity to speak with me while I'm out there, maybe you'll see me and that will inspire you to want to get out there and run. I have a normal 9 to 5 job. I say 9 to 5 because it's 10 hours, 40 hours a week, but those are not the hours that I work. As a police dispatcher, I've been doing that for a number of years. The job where I'm at now with Maryland National Park and Planning Commission will be 27 years in April, where I basically sit, spin, and deal with the issues of the day, what's going in and around our county and sometimes outside of that area.
Okay, now of the different writings, maybe if you could, do you have anything you could bless us with as maybe just a sample of something that you've written that might be inspirational? As you know, we just came out of just inaugurating a new president and coming from under the presidency of the Trump era. Do you have maybe something that might be appropriate, just a sample of what a person might expect if they were to invest in supporting you and buying one of your books?
Okay.
Give me a
Um,
quick sample of something.
what I'll do is I do one or two things. Sometimes I sit and I do a medley of poems, or
Mm-hmm.
I'll do one piece in length. So I'll do legacy. Each and every one of us are different, each in a paradox of our own. We are scary human beings filled with flesh and viable to the bone. Once the umbilical cord has been cut, amnesty shall not be granted. Understanding life and people is not a one-day course, it is a punishable dream. I like the feel of a rock. It's concrete, it's real, and it doesn't scrutinize with your intelligence. An approach to something without sense animates the mind and renders it to both good and evil. A breath of air gives much certainty that a person acts independently of all others, and no one else is responsible past a child's fruitful upbringing. We all need guidance to help us recognize the boundaries that separate us from one another. The posture of a person is an inevitable direction towards prosperity or poverty. It does not profit a man or woman to mill around in groups any longer, or to be led by the hand submissively or main. Fools do exhausting work, and they seldom inhale one breath of wisdom for compensation. We know what we're made of. We know our limits. Some things are uncontrollable, and it's then we have to compensate. And I should gather no flower for my own funeral. The cost of living is so daggone high, you need a second job plus overtime just to survive. So we're born running the losing race, too curious in youth and old age to pack it away. My teary eyes, we for the few that decide that the price for life is too damn high. The sun doesn't shine down on everyone. Flowers in the spring don't grow everywhere. When asked my opinion of capital punishment, social injustice, I don't care. Someone else in a similar situation may say, I don't think it's fair. Mom always did like my brother best. I wonder if she ever thought about me. When you take someone's freedom away and they can't deal with being confined, who's going to protect them from themselves? Surely not you, surely not I. The newspaper isn't something you want to read. The nightly news on TV never sends you straight off to sleep. With all that is happening in the world today, on the left and then the right, I'm almost afraid to peek out of the corners of my own eyes. No, don't even look surprised. All dressed up in camouflage green, talking to you know who, down on my knees. Do we pray for them still? Or pray upon them? Because what they do just doesn't seem real. I know, two wrongs don't make a right. And as long as I have faith in you, who needs to fight?
Excellent, excellent. Very stirring. I mean, I'll never forget the first Sunday you visited our church and you blessed us in poetry and talked about that. Now, one of the things that I'm enchanted about is the fact that you are in such a unique position, having already written 22 books. You came to me and you let me know that one of the things that you were looking at is actually possibly mentoring other writers and steering them along to join you as writers, and that you would be willing to even invest your time to help mentor maybe young people, even older people who have never gotten right around to putting that book out. And
Absolutely.
if you would just tell us what your thoughts on doing that, why are you doing that?
I have done that. I've already started it because someone came and brought it to my attention. They said, because of the amount of books and the information and knowledge that I have on self-publishing, a dear friend of mine who works at the Library of Congress, been there for over 25 years, he said, go ahead and set up a platform. I'll be your backbone if you need me. With information and knowledge to follow, registration numbers, I can look them up. Anything that you don't know, I can follow through. So with that encouragement behind me, I went on and set up a platform on Instagram every Thursday night at 9 p.m. where I open it up for open mic and discuss anybody that wants to self-publish their book, get their manuscript. We'll go step by step in getting you to copyright, set the press in motion so that you can get all of those visions to fruition and make it happen for yourself, such as I did, because I know what I went through before I was able to get my first book. I was just sitting around, spinning around in circle until someone came along and gave me directions. And that's what the platform is about. It's coming on and spending time with somebody that has knowledge without spending a lot of money. And I don't charge anything. Let you know that. I don't charge anything. All I do is provide the information so you can continue to move forward.
All right. Well, look, while we're here, if you would you be kind enough maybe just to share some of the publications? Do you have any samples of some of your publications that you might want to just flash up in front of the audience?
I can do that.
Yeah, would you do that for me?
This right here, can't hardly see it here.
Okay, to your right.
It's
your left. Move it to your left. I can see it good there, right there. That's fine.
Okay. This right here, this book right here is called A Race to the Finish. And like young lady last night, someone told her to reach out to me. She had over 100 pieces of work that she wanted to put into a book. We talked about how to set it up in a manuscript form. I recommend Microsoft Publisher because it's the best format for a book, putting a book together. I tried other formats until somebody said, do Microsoft Publisher. You'll go far and you'll be happier. And guess what? I went far and I'm happier. So I'm just going to show you a few books. That's A Race to the Finish. This is In Too Deep. You say go to the left. This is Cradle to the Grave. And these poems about life. This is Tough Love. I love Tough Love because tough love is about relationship, how I was raised as a child by my dad and my mom, and the same type of love it took to raise me. I also described the type of love that it took for me to raise my children. Okay. Maybe it did, and with my grandmother included. Mm-hmm. Wingless Angel from the Heart, which is it talks about the four corridors of DC, which is which to me the landmarks are the Big Tree, the Shrimp Boat, Chinatown, and the Wharf. Those all northeast, southeast, southwest, southeast. We have the four corridors down pat. Then we have divine purpose. Everything in divine purpose I broke down into relationship with God. When God intervened, me talking to God, and divine purpose, that's what it's all about. And I'm not gonna go through all of them, but your move. You're talking about your move. It talks about when you're dealing with people going back and forth in life. I compare those type of situations like a chess game.
Mhm.
You have to be, strategize what you're going to do in life. It's not talking about chess per se. It's just talking about it's your move. You got to make a decision where you are at that particular point in your life. Okay. So we talk about this is a picture of me at the track. It's called Shine. It's your opportunity where you step out in front of everything and everybody and continue to prove yourself, your worth. So when you write or you read, you put things together that identify you, what inspires you. Like the piece that I've done years ago when I was in the military, was called Moving. Mommy and daddy, I love a whole lot, but once I left home, I didn't stop. I kept on going, losing all track of time, hoping to make a visit sooner, but the years had not been kind. In this world, there are places where green grass doesn't grow and people you wish to God you didn't know. So before you pack your bags and you're out the door, you ought to know the rules on how to score. I'm not a religious man myself, but the Bible says it all. Have you ever seen people sleeping in the streets or ask you for money so that they can eat? Over 1 million times I turned around inside my mind, wishing I was part of that world I left behind. Don't mind the clouds, they only passing through. I remember I was in school and seated before the first morning bell had rung, and I'll be on top of the highest mountain where the last choir hymn will be sung. That's moving.
Wow. Wow.
So as I am inspired by what is going on or what's happening in my life, I'm gonna share one more book. It's called Between You and I. Between You and I. It's love, lies, and deceits. It talks about relationships. It talks about good, bad, or indifferent in a relationship. The things we the cards that the hand that we show and the hand that we don't show. People have lied to us. Maybe you've never lied to anybody else. I'm not going to say on this podcast if I had or not, but we'll just leave it to your own thoughts, feelings, or emotions. We're going to keep it moving at that. So yes, I'm always encouraged to help somebody learn on how to put their book together. The one thing that when I approach somebody is that we all have a story. And so that we don't have to keep telling that story, let's put it in a form where other people can read it, hear it, see it. That's our legacy. And that's what I've always felt when it comes to sharing information about self-publishing, is helping other people get their story and leaving it to their children, your friends, or family members, so that the story doesn't get told any other way other than the way you told it.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. I am very, very impressed. And again, just moving on now for young people, because I know, like I said, you mentioned before, you're a father, you came from a large family. What kind of advice as far as young people, is there a age that you think would be ideal for young people to actually get involved with writing, start journaling their experiences or testing their hand at actually writing poetry and prose?
Okay, so I started writing when I was about, I would say 9, 10 years old. So there is no, whatever time you feel like you need to start writing, you feel inspired or led to write. When 7th grade, when, WHEN, when life is bitter to the end, will you understand, my friend, that you didn't take life like it had been. So there's no new beginnings, even for those people who say, I didn't do anything. Why me? Why, my brother or my fellow man, did they leave this world for the young and the helpless? For some odd reason, I'm not leaving. I'm going to linger on for as long as I can, and I'm going to try my best to say good luck to the rest. That's seventh grade. I've written earlier pieces than that. Stand, my friend, and look over the land, air, and sea. Give me your feelings of life and the distance in which you believe. Don't tell me the downfall of everything or as joy is all there is, but with tears in your eyes and a smile upon your face, showing that you could be parting the peak of both sides of life. These were written very early in my life. Um, Pieces that even when I was in junior high, elementary school, I wrote pages after pages. So for the young people, whatever they feel led to write, write now. Write now. You feel inspired to sing? Sing. I'm not much of a singer. I try to turn it up in your church. I apologize. I tried to turn it up in your church. But you had the oldies group there, and my grandmother would have was just probably smiled down on me that day. So I'm not going to do that now. But since my dad wrote songs, I also have a few songs around here that I was looking over that had jumped up in my queue. It makes me sad to see you walk alone without Jesus in your life. It makes me sad to see you talk without Jesus in your life. It makes me sad. It makes me feel so very, very sad. It's more to it than that. But it was something that I felt at the time when I see other people trying to live this life without having a walk and a talk with a spiritual savior. And I had conversation with other people, and I say the bottom line is no matter where you are, how people feel about your work, it's what your worth is having Jesus in your heart. I don't think I could tell you or leave this earth without telling you how important it is to have a relationship with Jesus. I mean, other people have other relationships, but I can only tell you about the one that has led me to where I'm at now.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, that's mighty, mighty, mighty inspiring. Now, before we even get to the very end, I would like to let you know that I do plan on leaning on you in the future because I got a few ideas of some things that I think together with your help, I could make happen that
Okay.
could benefit not only you and me, but I'm talking about in service to others, especially some young people, that maybe we can hold a symposium, a writing symposium,
Yes.
because poetry, as you already know, is nothing but, or I should say, music is nothing but poetry that we added the music to it,
Yes.
all recording it. And I mean, I write as well as sing. And you've seen some of the works that I've done. Let me ask you, how do you feel about uh, people using how powerful poetry and music is in our world? What kind of effects? How do you view it? Why it's important?
I think what I've learned, what I know, I think music is the single. It's right up there with numbers. Right up there with numbers. And I say numbers is because when I was in a math class, the teacher said numbers are a universal language that
Mm-hmm.
everybody understands.
Mm-hmm.
So music is number one beyond universal.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything that we're made of. Everything grows, lives by music. So, and it's such a combination with numbers again, the beats, the sounds that attracts people and gathers people together based on music. So music is instrumental to everything that we do. In the years past, how they used to march off to war in the beginning of the army or side or behind, they had the drummers drumming, they had the bugle players playing to get everybody stirred up for war.
Mm-hmm.
And that was as well as Africa. Before they went to war, the Indian did the same thing. They geared up for war, sounds, music, to dance, to joy, to celebrate. And even now, people gravitate to different sounds because it stirs them up. Even in church,
Mm-hmm.
you're led to dance and to feel a certain way based on music, the way it's played. Same instrument, just played numerically different notes, different sounds. So yes, music, numbers, third, voice.
Well, I have to thoroughly agree with you. Like I said, having been deemed the music ambassador, I see the importance of music in everything from everyday life to all kinds of situations. I even have recommendations. I've been giving out some uh, musical prescriptions to people how to make their day better. Just one of the suggestions is telling people to get a list of about 20 of their favorite songs
Okay.
that inspire them, make them feel good, that excite them. That if you were at a party or a club, if you heard just the first 3 or 4 notes of the song, you would jump up and dance. To
Right.
put about 20 of those songs together and let them be your inspirational songs to get the day started. During your day, to have them as your personal playlist, because these are things that are already proven that turn you on. So why not self-medicate with
Yes.
music that excites you?
Right.
So that's just one of my personal things, because again, I see the importance of mixing, taking the poetic genius that people have and sending it to music because it is so powerful. I mean, even if you go back to the Bible, Satan himself, he was the minister of music up in heaven.
Yes.
He got kicked out because he felt that what he was doing was so powerful that he felt like he was above God, only to be cast down to the earth and wreak havoc here. But again, it was through music.
Music.
But music can be used positively as well as negatively. So again, I thoroughly agree with you. And I'm going to use this time right now to extend a future invitation for you to come back and
Okay.
join. I would like to have you involved with some of our campaigns, because I think it would do the world justice if more people knew about some of the beautiful writings. I'm blessed to say I have most of your new books, but I got to
Yes.
add to my collection.
Yes.
Uh, and I would like to engender all my fans to support you by reaching out. Can you give us again contact information for you to be reached again at?
Okay, so number one, if you're looking forward to self-publishing your own book or want to find out more information about it, just DM me, DC Native Son, on Facebook. If you want to reach out to me also, or come to one of my lives, DC Native Son _ just DC Native Son, DC Native, and Son is SON _ on Instagram. If you want to check out my page, and YouTube included, it's going to be DCNativeSon.com. That's my webpage. You can check out my videos where I perform even at the church or other churches. Also, Freedom Plaza, C-SPAN, where I was at a protest. So if you want to check out some of my work, Evangel Cathedral, I've also performed there in and around the city and multiple times in the DMV at Busboys and Poetry, Busboys and Poetry, Poets locations in this area. So I'm reachable. You just have to reach out to me.
Well, again, I want to thank you so much, Ralph, DC Native Son,
Yes.
aka the poet.
Thank you, sir.
You truly are inspiration, and certainly one of the hopefully well to be known poets around this area. But right now, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that there's a gold mine up there in those hills right there in the background. Tell me about your background. What's with the R Street Northeast, and what's that?
That's where I that's where I'm raised on First and R Street, 100 block. We just had, unfortunately, one of our centurions pass away a couple of weeks ago. Miss Greaves. She was 106 years old, right there on First and R Street. Her house is set right there on First and R Street. 106 years old. You look at my page, you look at Miss Greaves. She's chilling in her stressed out jeans, but we love each other, community, neighbors, our family, and everybody taking care of each other. So I grew up in a community that we all looked out for one another, and I couldn't have asked for more growing up, because it is the village that raises the child. Awesome.
Amen. Well, again, as we conclude, I want to again thank you personally. My audience, we thank you, and we will be following you to keep up with you, and hopefully to get you back here again real soon. But right now, I'm going to reach out to my audience and remind them that, again, we have had the pleasure of being with Mr. TRHOM DC Nstive son, Watkins.
Yes. Yes.
And also, we are inviting you, if you'd like to promote something that you do, we are looking for advertisers. We're looking for affiliates as well as sponsors, so that we can help promote what you do, as well as we can mutually support each other.
Yes.
So that's the plan here at the Royal Height of Music podcast. And as we get ready to sign out this evening, again, we advise you to just continue to stay safe during this COVID season, continue to love, and do more and more to make yourself better. This is Royal Height. I'm signing off at this time. And again, our theme here at the Royal Height of Music podcast is we plan on taking our music to the world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. See you again this same time next Thursday night, 7 p.m. as we're here every night. Come back and join and support us. God bless. Looking forward to you.